Hi, beautiful ladies, gorgeous women. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you 3 things you as a lady must bring to the table in your relationship or in your marriage. Most of the time, ladies are now bringing the things that men are supposed to bring. You're playing the role of a man in your relationship, knowing that you are the woman. And for men, I think it is time for you all to understand what a lady needs to bring to the table. People are confusing what people brings to the table. Like, especially I heard in the UK, there are guys that if you take a woman out to a restaurant, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that if you go to a restaurant with a woman, most of the time you tell them, oh, you have to pay half, I pay half. That's a poverty mentality. If you are a man and you take a woman to the restaurant, you're expecting you both to share the bill. My brother, change it. It is poverty. Most men feel that a woman, when you hear what do you bring to the table, it has to do with finances. No. A woman is not supposed to fund the house. I've said this before. It is the duty of a man to fund the house. The woman can only support. Number one thing a woman should bring to the table is this. Your man should be the one to provide money for food. And when he provides the money for food, make sure as a woman, there is food at all time in the house. Hear me and hear me clearly. If money touches your hand from your man, the first thing you should do is to stock the house with food items, groceries, and all of that. Make sure there is food at all time. Even if it is $10 that is in the account, make sure you are able to minimize it, use it perfectly. Make sure there is food on the table, madam. This is your duty. This is one of the things you must bring to the table. I'm not saying you should bring the money to do it, but if they provide the money for you, make sure that the house has food. That is number one. Number two, my sister, make sure your man doesn't lack this thing. The powerhouse. This one, you owe him. Make sure this particular part, you don't starve him with it. I also heard in Europe, especially with the black people, they have timetable where when their men will sleep with them. Sometimes it is 2 times in a month. My sister, that is wickedness. You see this particular powerhouse, this is one of the major things you bring to the table. And for men, this particular thing you see is priceless. A woman who is bringing this to the table, she's doing a whole lot for you, my brother. This particular powerhouse, my sister, make sure you don't starve him with it. Because if you starve him and probably the man cheats because you are starving him with this one, I validate that man. He's not wrong. Make sure the powerhouse touches him anytime. Whenever the man stands, whenever his things stand, madam, you should be standing as well. The powerhouse, make sure it is functional all the time. Make sure it is ready for duty all the time. The powerhouse. You heard what I call it? The powerhouse. That's number 2. Number 3, you must be ready. You must be a shoulder he will rely on. If he comes back from work and tells you, baby, there is this particular problem, there is this thing that is not working well. This thing with my hustle is not working well. My sister, you should be the one to support him with your intellect, your advice. That is why I tell men, I came to realize that beauty, really, it's not what you should look out for when you want to get married. What you should look out for first is the intellect. A man comes back and tell you, my baby, my wife, I have a problem with my hustle. This thing is not going well. This thing is not going well. You should be able to support him with your advice. Advise him. Because, most time, women see things that men cannot even see. Women see further more than men. Now, you should have a foresight. You should be able to think deep into that particular issue of his. Make sure you come up with a solution. You shouldn't be that woman that if he suggests anything, you just accept. No, there should be a solution. There should be a suggestion from your own side. Intellect. Make sure you hear, madam. Make sure your brain is sharp at all the time. Make sure if a man comes home, you notice that, oh, this guy, there's something not right with him. Ask him questions. You should be a shoulder that he will lean on, my sister. Be ready to have a shoulder that somebody will lean on. It shouldn't be like, oh, if I go and talk to my woman, she doesn't even have anything to contribute to it. Let me go and talk to my friend instead. That should be a shame on you, my sister. You must be ready at all time to support your man intellectually. You must have something upstairs to offer. These are three major things you must bring to the table. Bringing finances to the table is not your duty, my sister. It is a duty of a man to provide for the house. Even if you are any higher, what you do, you can support. In my last video, I said it before. I said, you can support a man, but don't lavish money on a man. It is not your duty. Don't say because he's broke today, let me carry the house. I'm earning more. Because he's broke today, he's going to make money later. I told you girls before, not every man that is broke today will make money tomorrow. Some people are going to die poor. The earlier you know this, the better for you. So make sure that the first one, what I said, you must make sure there is food at all time. Make sure that the house is clean, there is food at all time. You have to manage the house. Number 2, make sure your powerhouse is always available for use. Make sure you don't starve him with the powerhouse. Number 3, be a shoulder that he can lean on. Have a beautiful night.